So even though you were living in good times, there were a lot of problems with the music industry in Russia. What were your biggest problems with the way the Russian music industry was running when you got there?
When I got to Russia, the biggest problem I was facing was the Russian mafia. They, like I mentioned before, they control 90% of the music market. When I was appointed CEO of Universal, I was summoned to the London headquarters, and I like to describe it. It felt like a scene out of James Bond. It really did. I was brought into the office of the head of legal counsel, a man named Richard Constant. He was like a Winston Churchill type character, right? And he told me, we've had enough of these pirates stealing Elton John's music and stealing Bon Jovi's music. You need to go back to Russia, David, and organize the music industry into fighting pirates. We have to shut this down, no matter how dangerous it is. This is what you need to do. And I was excited. I wasn't scared. I was naive. I was probably very, very naive. But I was just honored to be asked to do such an important thing and to lead this effort was really great. Universal at the time, we were the biggest record company in the world, so it kind of was our duty to be the leaders in fighting piracy. And when I returned to Moscow to start on this mission, my first job was to get all of these record labels together, all the heads of the record labels. And again, another movie scene. It felt like, if you recall the scene from The Godfather, where Don Corleone brings all the families together, and they discuss how they need to unite against a common enemy. That's what this was really like. I brought all the different record labels together in the downtown office, and we made our peace. And for a moment, we're not cheating each other, stabbing each other in the back. And I presented them with the idea, let's form a group, a national group, that they do this in all the other countries in the world where there's modern music markets. Let's do the same thing here and unite and fight our common enemy, which is the music pirates, the Russian mafia. That's our common enemy. So when we gathered, we took a vote to determine who's in, who's out, and enough of the record companies were in. We were able to form our own organization, and that organization was charged with fighting pirates and going out on pirate raids with the police and raiding pirate factories. Certainly one of the more dangerous parts of my job. I had to wear a bulletproof vest. I had to go out on runs with Interpol agents, and my job as a record label executive was to, when we entered the factory and confiscated the counterfeit CDs, my job was to verify, oh, that's Universal, that's some other label, that's not ours. And then I would be responsible to go to court and defend Elton John's copyrights in a Russian court. And that's what the courts would use to prosecute the pirates. And it was certainly dangerous, and there's one episode I talk about in the book where we discovered that a pirate factory was located on an army base. And when we tried to enter the army base with our police, we had the Moscow police escort, we had some big shots from Interpol, but in Russia, the military police trumped the citizen police, and we were not allowed entry into the factory grounds. And that was just proof right there that not only was Russia full of music piracy, but it was being protected at the highest level. Russian generals were protecting the music pirates. So the challenge was really great.